Now at 10 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, a VISD grandmother accusing a teacher of abuse. Our reporter Darius McCormick has the details.
We are learning more details tonight about the shooter at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church in Houston Sunday.
And we introduce you to one of the Republican candidates running for District 30 representative.
It's a clear and rather chilly night, getting down to the low 40s. So tomorrow morning, if you're walking the dog, take a sweater. We'll also talk about the rain coming in later this week. All that coming up in a moment.
And at age 28, Patrick Mahomes has 3 rings, but will he ever catch Tom Brady? I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
Allegations of verbal abuse coming out of the Victoria ISD tonight. A concerned woman says her grandson is dealing with a teacher who is verbally abusive. 25
News Now reporter Darius McCormick is following this story and joins us now with details.
Deborah Rojas says the teacher's behavior is getting worse, and now she says she thinks district administrators aren't doing enough.
I've done protocol, and protocol is a year later now, so there's got to be a stop to it.
Rojas claims the verbal abuse from her grandson's 3rd grade teacher started in February 2023. She says the yelling escalated to physical incidents, including jerking his arm.
She jerked him by his arm, and he came home and shared it with me and said, "Grandma, it hurt when she grabbed me and she jerked me."
She spoke with a doctor who advised her to report the situation involving the teacher. When she reported the teacher, Rojas was shocked with the district's response.
He said, "If you didn't see it or hear it, it didn't happen. Do I make myself clear?" And I'm in shock that someone would feel that way when we're crying out for help.
She says she's heard from other parents about similar situations in the district. Rojas left them with a word of advice.
Stand up and be a voice to your child, because your child needs that voice.
Monday afternoon, the VISD connected Rojas with a sheriff's deputy to investigate the situation. She reported this issue to Child Protective Services as well. We reached out to Victoria ISD and they released a statement you can find on our website, CrossroadsToday.com. Don, Karina, back to you.
Darius, thank you. Around 6:30 p.m. Friday, officers with the Bishop Police Department arrested 41-year-old Douglas Zelkowski of Victoria on charges of indecent assault. It happened in the 100 block of Badger Lane. Officers investigated reports a man inappropriately touched a child at a school-sponsored athletic event. Officers made contact with a witness and the victim. The suspect was found a short time later. Zelkowski was placed under arrest on scene without incident and later transported to the Nueces County Jail on charges of indecent assault. The investigation continues and additional criminal charges may be filed. A 50-year-old Matagorda County man now faces 2 life sentences in prison. Anthony Perry was convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Perry threatened his ex-wife, Onatha Banks, with a handgun on October 25, 2020.
Now, the race for the District 30 House seat has attracted 4 candidates. Republican primary candidate Vanessa Hicks Callaway says for the first time in many years, the seat is finally open. This is her 2nd time running for this office.
If we can put more money in the pockets of our families in the 30th district, well, that means that they will be able to have a thriving, boosting quality of life because they'll have more resources that they can spend on themselves as opposed to paying some property tax.
Tomorrow on 25 News Now at 5, we'll have District 30 Republican primary candidate A.J. Louderback live. Wednesday, we'll have District 30 Republican candidate Brett Baldwin. And on Friday, we'll have District 30 Republican candidate Jeff Bachnight also live. The Republican primary winner will face Democrat Stephanie Basham in the November election. She is running unopposed in the Democratic primary election, and we hope you'll join us.
4 candidates are running in the Republican primary for Precinct 3 Victoria County Commissioner. Marcus Salinas is seeking office for the first time. Salinas is a Victoria native and owner of Flying S Services and a maintenance tech for the Texas Department of Transportation. Salinas says his main goals are to continue the legacy of good public service.
Budgets for the Sheriff's Department and road and bridge budgets need to be looked at and addressed. Any drainage issues, concerns with the county. Mr. Burns has done an excellent job over his past terms and stuff, and we need to continue that track record that he has.
Also running for the Precinct 3 seat is Shannon Martin and Brad Tucker and James Soder Holtz. Early voting starts February 20th and Election Day is Tuesday, March 5th.
Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warning Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. If you don't mind a little cooler temperatures, today was a really nice day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, without that north wind, it's going to be much nicer tomorrow. So yeah, it'll be chilly in the morning, but look at this, hardly a cloud over Texas, just clear skies. The problem is that in about 4 or 5 days, there is a cold front coming down that'll actually give us a chill for the coming weekend and some rain on Friday. Got to get ready for that. We'll talk about it coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. We're learning more tonight after that deadly shooting at Pastor Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church in Houston.
Authorities identifying the suspect. It's a mother with an AR-15 who opened fire. Her 7-year-old son is one of 2 people shot in the head. The boy remains in critical condition tonight.
This was the terrifying moment when authorities say 36-year-old Genesee Moreno walked into Joel Osteen's famed Lakewood megachurch with her 7-year-old son and opened fire with an AR-15. Shots thundering inside the hall just before a Spanish-language service was set to start.
I started screaming, there's a shooter, there's a shooter. Then we all ran to the very back side of the library.
2 off-duty officers returning fire.
The 7-year-old child falls to the ground as well from gunfire.
Moreno's son shot in the head in critical condition. Moreno pronounced dead at the scene, found with anti-Semitic writings on her person.
There was a sticker on the buttstock of the rifle that stated Palestine. A sticker simply stated Palestine.
Authorities say the weapon was purchased legally in December, despite reports of a history of mental illness and a criminal record involving weapons.
We want to know the motive, how she got the weapon, why she did this. We're not there yet.
Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church is the 3rd largest megachurch in the U.S., and Osteen's sermons are broadcast around the world.
We're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased, her family and all.
In a statement, Osteen writing they are devastated by today's events and grateful for the swift actions of law enforcement.
We pressed the FBI about how someone with a weapons charge on their criminal history could get a hold of 2 guns legally. They didn't have a straight answer for us, but say that it is a big part of their investigation, as well as the communication between all the law enforcement agencies when they ask those kinds of questions and run those background checks. They are also delving into Moreno's mental health history as well. We'll continue to follow this one for you. Mireya Villarreal, ABC News, Houston, Texas.
The DA's office also identified the male bystander shot as Tom Thomas.
And for now, the officers involved will be placed on administrative leave while the probe is ongoing.
Overnight, agents with the FBI, Texas Rangers, and ATF raided a Conroe home believed to be connected to Moreno. KTRK reports authorities found anti-Semitic writings but did not provide further details. Police added that they believe there was a dispute with her ex-husband's family, some of whom are Jewish but are not members of Lakewood Church. Houston Police Chief Troy Finner said patrols will be increased at places of worship across the city of Houston.
So here's your Vera poll tonight. The question is, what is the most pressing issue highlighted by the shooting at Joel Osteen's church? Is it mental health care, gun control and regulation, security measures at public events, or understanding motives behind such violence? According to our results tonight, it looks like the leading one takes for mental health stands at 62%. Thank you for voting tonight. Now, a Las Cruces police officer was killed Sunday afternoon. Patrol officer Jonah Hernandez from El Paso was stabbed at least once after responding to a trespassing call shortly before 5 p.m. Hernandez was taken to a hospital where he later died. The suspect was shot and killed by someone who witnessed at least part of the interaction. A witness used Hernandez police radio to call for help. Hernandez now leaves behind a wife and 2 sons, ages 10 and 2. An effort to decriminalize possession of small amounts of marijuana in Lubbock is moving forward, despite Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton suing 5 cities this week for doing that exact same thing. You can read the story by the Texas Tribune.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Stay with us. 1 person dead and 5 others hurt. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. How officials say this New York subway fight turned out deadly.
Also ahead, in North Carolina, a student charged for bringing a rifle to campus. He claims it was all a misunderstanding.
A serious challenge prowls many streets across Victoria County. Roaming and stray animals pose a risk to the community, and finding their owners often impossible.
The animals that don't have a voice, that's what we're there for, to help.
So what's being done to ensure the safety of our streets and these lost or abandoned pets? Join me, reporter Lupi Zapata, for Safe Streets, Safe Pets, a 25 News Now Extra, Thursday night at 10.
In New York City, 1 person was killed and 5 others injured in a shooting at a subway station in the Bronx. Authorities say a fight broke out on board a train and spilled out onto the platform as it arrived at the station. Eden Avenue Station during the rush hour commute, very busy. Gunfire erupted soon after, leaving 1 person dead and 5 others injured on the elevated train platform. Authorities say the suspects took off running and no arrests have been made. It's still unclear what started the shooting.
A 19-year-old is facing charges for bringing a gun to campus at the University of North Carolina State University. In a Monday court hearing, a judge told Adam Solomon he could receive 2 years in prison. Solomon was arrested Sunday after a student reported seeing a rifle in an unoccupied truck. Officers responded and found the gun loaded with 20 rounds of ammunition. There was also 46 rounds of 9mm ammunition, but no gun matching those rounds was found.
Somebody did say something and bring it up. Whether the circumstance of why it was in there, you don't know until you talk to the guy.
Suleiman's attorney says it's all a big misunderstanding and his client actually forgot the gun was in the truck. He said Suleiman, a student at the school, was actually on campus to work out with some friends. Now, former President Donald Trump is facing new blowback for a remark he made at a rally in South Carolina over the weekend.
Trump reportedly said he would encourage Russia to do whatever they want to any NATO member country that did not meet the alliance's funding guidelines.
At a rally over the weekend, former President Donald Trump said he would encourage Russia to do what they want to any NATO country that did not meet its defense spending targets.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
NATO has a target that each member country spends a minimum of 2% of gross domestic product on defense. While most countries are not meeting that target, the figure is a guideline and not a binding contract. The former president's comments received immediate pushback from many, including his political opponents.
Putin kills his opponents. He invades free countries. This is not someone you ever want to pal around with. And you certainly don't want to give them the right to invade a friend.
In a statement, President Joe Biden called Trump's comments appalling and dangerous. But some congressional Republicans are defending the former president.
Virtually every American president at some point in some way has complained about other countries in NATO not doing enough. Trump's just the first one to express it in these terms.
Check your refrigerators. Some salad kits are being recalled because they could be contaminated with listeria. The recalled products include Dole, President's Choice, and Market Side brand salad kits. They were distributed in 25 states and 5 Canadian provinces. Anyone with the products are urged to get rid of them immediately. Dole says so far there have been no reported illnesses connected to the products.
Good evening, everybody. It's rather chilly, 49 degrees out there, and we're going to drop down to probably the low 40s. So tomorrow morning when you get up, take the doggies out, just, take the sweater with you. The thing is, today we had abundant sunshine, and we still managed to get up to only 63 degrees. We'll be down about 42 tomorrow morning. So a little on the cool side, but very sunny for one more day. But after that, it changes because the clouds are coming back, and so is a rain chance. We'll be talking about that coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. I want to thank Ms. Renetta Holcomb, who's 81 years old. She called to remind me of something very important. Now, this is a photograph by the Victoria Advocate, 1895, of De Leon Plaza, before the trees. And there's a courthouse when it snowed on Valentine's Day. And then again in 1958, apparently it snowed on Valentine's Day again. She was in high school. She remembers that. Thinks it's important us remember. Yes, it used to snow in the Crossroads. I don't know that we're going to get it this Wednesday, but certainly tonight is a little nice and chilly. We're getting down into the low 40s because of the clear skies and now the light winds that are just ended. Tomorrow we'll get plenty of sunshine, a good looking day if you got to work outdoors, looking at 64, 65 degrees. Northeast winds that were with us today that were kind of a chilly, well, they're going to be turning around, and by the end of tomorrow they'll be southeast. That means immediately that we start warming up a little bit and start picking up some of the Gulf moisture. But I wanted to show you the big picture. There's Texas, not hardly a cloud in the sky. And if you go on the really big picture, you can see this storm. This one is going to be a big problem for the Northeast. It's expected to become a nor'easter. You see the low here? When it goes here, it taps into the ocean atmosphere, throws it on top of cold weather, and they're going to get a lot of snow up there. For us, we're in the quiet for a couple of days, but Future Tracker is already showing us that we're looking to get some sort of rain around here on Friday. Now, here is in the dark green is half an inch. Here in the bright green is up to an inch, and a couple of spots maybe more. But I'll tell you this, it'll be heavier rain down south toward the Rio Grande. And that's because it's coming at us from the south. Watch this. Here's today's low. That's moving away. High pressure giving us couple, that's 2 days. And then as we get to Thursday, the frontal system starts pushing into North Texas. You'll see a big surge of tropical moisture streaming northbound. Then all of a sudden, boom, they collapse into each other and we get a little bit of rainfall. Now, when I say a little bit of rainfall right now, the computer models are estimating over a half an inch. Could be substantial rainfall. All I can tell you right now, this far out, is that we got a big surge of moisture and a cold front that are going to collide, giving us that opportunity. So as soon as Thursday, we will know exactly how much rain we're going to get. And then by Saturday, the good news is that front blows through and then high pressure rebuilds and gives us some cooler temperatures. You know, we haven't seen a whole lot of, we haven't worn our sweaters in a long time, have we? But next weekend could be different. Sunny skies tomorrow, up to 65 down in Port Lavaca. Cuero, you guys got lots of sunshine to be outdoors, getting up to about 67. So your Tuesday's good, your Wednesday's not bad. Clouds really start rolling back in on Thursday when those two things collide. And then right now it looks like Friday, a good solid 60% chance all day. And then when the front comes through on Saturday, look at that. 58 the high, and then a couple of lows in the 30s. So it's going to be a little bit colder next weekend because of that arriving system. But in the short term for tomorrow, it could be a great day to be outdoors. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Mr. Zach. And are you talking about the Super Bowl?
About the Super Bowl, and we're talking about whether or not if Patrick Mahomes will catch Tom Brady in rings. I'll have what you and your neighbors are saying coming up in sports. Now, so before the big game, everyone was torn as to who would be taking home the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and rightfully so. And it's safe to say that the game lived up to everyone's expectations. But the second half is where you really have to go to get to the action. This field goal, 57 yards out, that tied the record in this game. But in the third quarter, misfortune for the Niners. A punt bounces off the foot of one of their own, and the Chiefs recover. They take the lead on the very next play. In overtime we go. By the way, they call this play corn dog, and it got them the Lombardi Trophy. Mahomes find McCole Hardman, and the Chiefs officially a dynasty. And like Kelsey always screams, you got to fight for your right to party. Well, the back-to-back champs partying hard last night. Of course, they're going to give Taylor Swift her camera time, and Patrick Mahomes was named MVP of the game. And at age 28, he has 3 rings, multiple MVPs, and he may just be getting started. And that will lead us to your viewer poll. Will Patrick Mahomes catch Tom Brady 4 rings, yes or no? Brady has 7. Mahomes just got his 3rd. It is a 50-50 split. I'm going to lean no, because if he does catch Brady, he still has more work to do than he's already done. He's already done a lot. He's got a good shot. I don't think he's going to get 7, especially with C.J. Stroud on his way up. Anyways, here in the Crossroads, the girls basketball playoffs begin tomorrow. The boys season, that's winding down. The Edna Cowboys has captured their district title with still 1 game left to play. That game will be a home game against the Hallettsville Bravens. And if you thought they were going to rest with that gold ball already in their trophy case, well, you were mistaken. Coach Sheldon Moore wants his guys rolling as they head into the postseason and wants them to continue to reach for greatness.
We want to hit the playoffs on the rise. We don't want to go limping in off of a loss. You know, kind of have to generate some motivation for the boys because they know the picture. We've talked about it all year. We accomplished our first goal, and that was the gold ball, and to go back-to-back as district champs. Tomorrow night, simply put, we have 5 seniors who play their last game in this gym, the last time they get to suit up in front of their home crowd. So that's got to stand for something.
They made a deep playoff push last year, hoping to replicate, if not outdo, what they did as they go forth this season. The Edna Cowgirls getting ready for the playoffs as well. Their game tomorrow, they get the Marion Bulldogs. That game will be in Seguin. The Cowgirls were ranked early in the year. They lost the 1st seed in the district to Hallettsville. And of course, a lot of our area teams getting sent off. The Victoria East girls, the Hallettsville girls, the Quirrell girls, the list goes on and on. Dawn and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach, and stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we're going to take a last look at your weather with Mac. Plus, we head to Disneyland for the Patrick Mahomes Parade Day celebrations.
Now to the dog days of winter. Yoga enthusiasts in India's capital, New Delhi, got an extra dosage of puppy cuteness during their yoga class ahead of this year's Valentine's Day.
No.
Paws and Poses, which specializes in yoga sessions paired with dogs across India, held a Valentine's Day themed course on Sunday featuring 11 rescue puppies, including gold receivers and a Shih Tzu, which are all up for adoption. The session lasted for about an hour and was open to couples and singles alike.
Look at that one. But they didn't do any yoga in that. They just played with the doggies.
Exactly.
It's India. Anyway, today marks the 215th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. To commemorate the day, a wreath-laying ceremony was held at the original memorial site for the 16th president in Hodgenville, Kentucky. The ceremony was held this morning at the Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Historical Park. The wreath was placed outside a symbolic replica on what President Lincoln was most likely born inside, a log cabin. One park official said this was fitting for this memorial. By the way, you know, there are so many people, of course, the state of Illinois calls itself the land of Lincoln. But
I thought he was from Illinois.
Sinking Spring Farm, Kentucky.
Oh, is Lincoln's
home? Yes. Born there 215 years ago.
I was convinced he was Lincoln from Illinois.
Now, well, many people do.
Yeah.
But that's why we're here, educational.
Thank you.
That's right.
I appreciate that.
I certainly didn't know that either.
I feel smarter already.
Football, American history, and now the next few days in weather. Especially people are making some Valentine's Day midweek plans.
Yeah,
you know, big dinner coming up.
Wednesday night, right?
Wednesday night, yes.
Things are looking good for Wednesday night. In fact, tomorrow it's going to be a terrific Tuesday, lots of sunshine. Wednesday's still good, getting up to about 67 degrees. Not exactly, you know, frigid cold, so you're not going to worry about that. No rain. It's Thursday when everything goes south on us and the clouds roll back in, this front comes through, and Friday looks pretty sloppy at this point in time. We're looking probably over a ½ inch of rain. We'll certainly update you as we get closer to the event, but it's going to clear out on Saturday morning, and then it's going to be a chilly, sunny weekend after that. Don?
All right.
All righty, thank you, Mac. Now, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes celebrated Sunday's Super Bowl victory at Disneyland State. Mahomes arrived at the House of Mouse and participated in the theme park's daily parade. The crowd was filled with Chiefs fans, of course, all celebrating the team's 4th ever big win. For Mahomes, it's his 3rd career Super Bowl, as you know, Zach already told you, and 2nd in a row in just his 6th season as the starting NFL quarterback.
I saw him, and my family saw him in his final college bowl game.
Really?
2015 for Texas Tech is at NRG Stadium, the Texas Bowl against LSU. And if Patrick Mahomes hadn't been Patrick Mahomes that night, Texas Tech would have lost by 150.
I got to see when he came through Norman. Him and Baker Mayfield went at it.
There you go.
Incredible.
28 years old. How about that?
Thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join us at 5 a.m. Good night.